Good morning, afternoon, evening, good time zone. Welcome to the stream. Today we are playing more NIKKE. We're gonna be wrapping up ARK Guardian with the hard mode scene, as well as dive into Sin Editor, which is the current event, and it should be fully out now for everyone who does the daily charges, besides the hard mode for that. Random side note, in terms of the solo raid, I ended up getting, like, I think it was top 4%? 5%? Somewhere around there. Progress. We're slowly making our way to the 3% benchmark. I've been playing this game for too long, is what that means. When you're free to play and you're in, like, the top 3%, yeah, that says something. So before we jump into the game, some random notes. Next week I will be gone on Friday because I'll be on a plane going to LA for the Persona concert. Planning to be back like early, well, not early, afternoon, evening, like a midday Monday. So there might be a stream Monday, we'll see. Depends on how cooked I am. But yeah, Friday I'll be gone. Hopefully there's not another NIKKE thing to do next week. Because Friday's usually the day I choose to do that. Then another... This is just a random thing. I was bored last night while I was like doing adjustments to the model after testing it. I decided to go ahead and compare the heights of all my models I've used for like streaming related things. So that includes like the profile picture model. It's interesting when I look at it. Let me see, where did it go? The image capture. This, right? I compare the heights of, look at the tiny ass gremlin, look at her. Look how small she is. Yeah, the profile picture one, that's like, kid Coco, that's child Coco. Honestly, it kind of works out because Suika Coco's like, college. Like, young adult. Now there's me, the old one. I've seen the shit that you experience in life. It's not fun. I have depression now. The hope is gone from my eyes. Man, the gremlin and like the ink model, they're not like accurate to what the OC should look like in terms of Cocoa Puff. Everyone else, though. It's just an age progression. That's how it turned out. I am not at my tallest, so there's that. I'm not coping. The model's definitely taller than me in real life, I will admit that. My height is closer to the ink model, if anything. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Or I guess a thing about the models. Goddamn, I need the image again. I got rid of it too fast. A thing about these models. So the Issa, going from left to right, Issa, Pixel, Suika, Ink, and the current one. Issa one I will never be using for streams, specifically those. That's only for like images and profile picture and those type of things. They're a little brat, and they're a bit too young for me to feel like comfortable using, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it fits me. The Pixel Gremlin, I love her. We might be bringing them back if we want to be like small Suika, I don't think I'm ever gonna use again, if I'm being honest. Suika gives off the vibes of like pretty princess. And I'm like the opposite of that. My personality is the complete opposite of a girly girl. Ink will probably bring back if we do a drawing stream or something like that. Then the current one is the main one going forward. I like the design of the current one the best so far. It's the closest to what I have envisioned for my OC. We'll see if that changes at all, but it feels right. It also like fits me the best in real life in terms of how I act and how I dress. Like the way I'm dressing right now, I would honestly wear the same exact thing in person. Okay, now shoot, this one goes away. Enough about me. Let's go into the game. I have an idea for a stinger transition now, because of this model. I don't know how expensive it's gonna be though, because animation tends to be expensive. Oh no. So idea-wise, it's kind of like I pop up on screen, then I get overrun by the Lost. Like, they just pour down from the ceiling and flatten me. Like, I feel like that would be a funny transition. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to animate, though. And I'm not experienced enough in animation to do that, and that sounds expensive, because animation is paid by frame. So that's an idea. We'll see if that happens anytime soon. I've always wanted to have, like, a stinger animation with the Lost in it. Yeah, for those who missed the model introduction, like, last stream, we will be having emotes because one of my previous model parents, so the one for the Pixel model, is creating Emote Lab on Steam, and that lets you create, like, animated emotes and static emotes through a program using their customizable model. So it's gonna be a lot easier for people who don't have that much, like, money to commission a ton of emotes. It's very friendly for newer streamers and, like, smaller streamers, so it's nice. That's gonna be released on February 2nd. So once that hits the market, we're gonna be seeing new emotes on the channel, so look forward to that. Hello, Ludmilla. I never use you. Of course I get a Tetra. On screen. On the note of, like, model parents though, all the ones that I've had so far, they're all lovely people. And they're all very talented. Very different art styles though, and rigging styles. The only downside to customizable models, I would say, is you don't know what you're getting before you get it. Hi, I'm a fan. Hello, Seb. Hello. Because on all accounts, the thing I was talking about, do I still count as, like, a newer streamer? Is that still applicable to me? How many months has it been? 6? Oh god, it's already been half a year almost. Oh no. Yesterday you couldn't watch the end of Resident Evil 4 Sleepiness one. You're fine, you get a head pat. Eep is important. eat when you need to. The only thing that happened is I blew up on the jet ski, and thank you, NIKKE, crashing. NIKKE's been crashing a lot recently when moving between screens. Oh, let me try to get that back up. Am I calculating correctly? I started the streaming adventure, like, I think it was July 20th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6. How has it already been half a year? Almost. We're 4 days away from half a year. The hell? Where'd the time go? It's like, does your qualification as a new streamer expire at that point? Like, is 1 year the expiration point? We were playing something else that day. My brain has derailed. What are we talking about? That's how life goes. I suppose so, yeah. Anyway, so the thing I like cut myself off on in terms of like the customizable models, as someone who was like thinking of starting VTubing and like being a newer streamer and all that, VTubing must be expensive. Like the custom ones, the ones you commission and have like your OG design that you own, those be really expensive. That's where customizable models are useful. And for all the people who create customizable models, they are goats. Like, they are the goat. They're absolute chads. Suika's customizable model, I think, kind of kickstarted the customizable model trend, and like how everyone is jumping at it now. The only downside to that is you have emotional music in the back. The only downside to the customizable model trend is that the people who do custom models, they're getting a lot less like commissions, so the prices for those are skyrocketing now. Which only further pushes the customizable model trend. There are so many on the market now. It used to be only Suikas, but now there's a shit ton of them. We're playing with some friends, so just come by to say hi. Alright. Try to be back. Hey, you're all good. You have like no obligation to be here. Do what you want to do. Appreciate you stopping by though. You're initially such a big deal. The question mark was a misclick, you're fine. In all sense of the word. Because like, okay, I don't know how I feel about having it. We don't need emotional music. Let's go to this screen. Because I'm just yapping right now. You just like being here? I'm glad. I like making people happy and entertaining them. I don't feel like I'm very entertaining, but I appreciate people who stop by. The thing with like custom models, going back to that topic, commission models, they tend to go for like hundreds if not thousands of dollars. Then you got like the high-end creators that everyone knows the name of. Those are in the tens of thousands because the market is so inflated because of everything else and the customizable ones. Most customizable models range around like the hundreds to 200, but usually lower hundreds. Holy avatar change, hybrid tree. I'm not a tree. Question, Red. Does this model make me more breathable? Because this is supposed, like, this is closer to what I'm supposed to look like in terms of, like, the Cocopuff OC character. Yes, actually. Perfect. That's the goal all along. I feel like this model, like my current appearance, attracts both genders. It attracts the whole spectrum now, because I'm like in the range of androgynous. You'd. You know what? If I say that, the mod is gonna smite me, so you will refrain. No, you're fine. The mod's currently... One of them's busy watching a different stream, one of them is streaming, so... You can say whatever you want here. Brain derailed. My brain gets distracted easily. Customizable models, that's what I was talking about. As I stare at the inventory. Streaming-wise, besides the ones I showed, because I showed Issa's for the profile picture, I showed the Pixel one by Glyco Productions, I showed Suika by Suika, I showed the Ink model by Kyoki and the current one by Kyoki. I also have the Sen Mako model. I have two other ones I forgot the name of because it's been a couple of months since I touched them. And I think I have one other one in the back. So in total I have 9 customizable models. Don't question the total price, I don't want to think about it. Forgive the horny pulls out the script. I pull your hair and go through all the positions of the Kama Sutra. Hey, the horny is accepted here. We are the horny. Like streamer, like chat, we're all horny. We're all degen. To be fair, my hair is very pullable. Both model and real life. I've been told that before. 9 customizable models. Asterisks. For anyone who is like thinking of VTubing or just getting a customizable model for the fun of it, look at like the advertisements for it and other people who use it before you buy it, because there are so many options and not all of them fit like what you would like in terms of appearance and customizability. It really depends on your own artistic abilities as well, because the whole point of customizable models is to go into the files yourself, draw over them, and change the appearance to your liking. There are people who provide services to do that as well, especially for sleep stuff. Got the horns too, if anything. You see some handlebars on your head. Hey, I'm fine with people calling them handlebars, that's their purpose. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm very horny, if you couldn't tell. Like, I'm just switching back and forth between like a lecture on customizable models and y'all in chat. It's lovely. Yeah, before we go into the event, just a final note on the topic before I move on from it. Hey, the more people that tell me they want to bang me, the better. Anyways, final note on the topic. way too many customizable models. They're all lovely though. They have all different art styles and like ranges of customizability. Do your research. That's the cliff now. Do your research before you get it because the price adds up. Anyways, we need to finish ARK Guardian hard mode. It's a different kind of light. Okay, I lied. One more note. Especially for people who are like PNG tubers and want to move into like an LTD model, but you don't want to spend too much money on a custom model. Customizable models are good, but again, do your research. Between gacha funds and models, one has to wonder which costed more. So I've been playing gachas for how long have I been playing them? When did I start at Zerlane? That was the first one I started. I think in Zerlane alone, I've spent like over $2,000 like over the course of 6 years. So probably gachas. And all that money, like the thing with the Zerlane, none of that money goes to polls. Those are all outfits. They're all horny ass outfits. We love gambling. It wasn't for the gambling, it was for the horny. I was being a DJ for 6 years. The funny thing about that is I quit Zerlane because they were catering too much to the fan service aspect. They became too degenerate for me, which is ironic. Because they used to be like historically accurate, reference heavy. They kind of threw that out the window for the fan service. And I found different gachas, mainly NIKKE. Zerlane also has too big of a file size and uses up too much of my time to do dailies. And there's Brandes too. Didn't they have that whole entire controversy recently because they were trying to censor everything for the Steam launch? Then they went back on their word because of how much backlash they got. Because they had like the mobile version and all that, which is very fan service heavy. Like their game runs on fan service and they can't deny it. Then they were trying to launch it on Steam. For the people who don't know, like they tried to do that and Steam has restrictions, obviously. So they had to do a bunch of censoring to do that. So they announced they were going to censor all versions. Everyone hated that, obviously. And the amount of backlash they got, they also got review bombed. I think their rating dropped to like 3 on the App Store. Like, because of all that backlash, they went back on that and, like, did the whole entire 90-degree bowing apology in a live stream, I think. So now they're making 2 different versions. The original uncensored one, then a censored one for Steam, which is honestly what they should have done in the first place. Because a lot of other gachas do that, especially for, like, the Chinese clients and all that stuff. Either way, Brandes 2 PBs was insane. The main one I've seen is the booty grab. That one circulated the internet a lot when it came out. Okay, at this point we're gonna be yapping for 30 minutes. We need to start going to the event. A different kind of white. We can yap later. We need to at least finish our Guardian. So this is after Snow White woke up, got mental whiplash, and got all the weaponry equipped. Now she's talking to Cecil, I guess. Going from horny tongue to a different type of white distance. A white can mean a lot of things in this case. Because NIKKE has used it to represent purity, it has used it to represent sacrifice, it has used it to represent white slaves. There's also the white Vapest, which is just cum. And the idea of with as many weapons as you requested.
今まで使っていたものはそのまま使いたいということでしたので。
Since you are so dead set on keeping the loadout you've been using,
セブンスドワーフは機能別に統合、整理を行いました。
I consolidated and did some reorganizing based on the 7 doors functions. And for you, you will raise the white flag. Just because you're raising the white flag doesn't mean you get to have the sweet embrace of death, if that's what you're going for.
まだ軽いの。
It still feels light.
実際の重量差としては、今の方が3倍ほど重いはずです。
The staff is nearly 3 times heavier than the last one.
武装の軽量化を始めたはずが、最終的に以前より重くなるというのは理解しがたいことですが。
Don't give me the sag, or you're supposed to be alive. Don't crave the death. Only I am allowed to crave the death. The individual units may be light, but their total weight is greater than before. You understand what that means, don't you?
それだけ詰め込んであるということです。
It means I loaded you up with as many weapons as I could.
だが、まだ軽い。
And yet it still feels light. Snow White, you're too ripped, that's the issue.
こんな重量を何の補助もなく背負うのは無謀です。
You can't carry all that weight using brute force alone.
負荷を分散するためのサブアームを背面に取り付けてあります。
So I've added load-bearing auxiliary arms.
武器を代わりに保持する機能があります。
They're doing the heavy lifting for you.
そうか。それはいい。
I see. That's good.
ええ。理解していただけて安心しました。
Yes, thank you for understanding.
このまま戦えるか？
Are they combat ready?
もちろんです。
Of course.
それなら、少し出かけてくる。
Then there's somewhere I must go.
どちらへ？
Where?
アークの入り口だった場所だ。
The ARK entrance. Or what used to be.
なぜ？
Why?
確かめたいものがある。
There's something I wish to see. Are we going to the coffin? The now empty coffin?
危険ではありませんか？単独行動は。
Want to be dangerous if you go alone.
問題ない。
Not at all.
わかりました。引き止めはしません。ただし、連絡はしてください。
Alright, go ahead. Just stay in contact.
ああ。
Will do. She's technically a Goddess Squad member, but she is like Alliance of Eden now. Snow White stands in a field of pure white flowers. Now we're back here.
残っているな。
It's still here. She crouches down and studies the white blossoms closely.
違う。
It's different. The flowers are imperceptibly different. Possibly due to natural changes that have occurred over the past century. Or they may be entirely different flowers.
セシル。
Cecil.
ご連絡ありがとうございます。どうかしましたか？
Thank you for reaching out. What can I do for you, Snow White?
エデンの技術で花の大量栽培はできないか？
Is Eden's technology capable of cultivating flowers in large quantities?
可能ではあります。
It's possible, yes.
ですが、おすすめはしません。花でお腹は膨れませんよ。
However, I wouldn't recommend it. Flowers do little to satisfy hunger. Snow White's not planning to eat them.
食べるつもりではない。
I don't intend to eat them.
そうでしたか。失礼しました。
I see. My apologies. I know Snow White was a glutton before she remembered everything. Like, she would eat everything on sight, but she can hold back her hunger now. She has a goal in mind.
昔と形が変わった花を元に戻すことはできるかも。
Can you restore a flower to how it used to look?
形質が変化した花を以前の状態に。
Restore a flower to its original look.
それは難しいでしょうね。
That might be tough.
環境や状況に合わせて変化していくものですから。
Its shape has adapted to blend in with its environment.
一度変わったものは元に戻りません。
So there's no way to revert that process.
どのような変化かにもよりますが、もはや別の存在になっているという可能性もありますね。
Depending on the specific mutation, it might have become an entirely different species.
そうか。わかった。
I see. Thank you.
確かめたいことというのはそれでしたか？
Did you find what you were looking for?
今から帰還する。
I'm heading back.
カウンターズがもうすぐ到着します。早く戻ってきてください。
Okay, so this scene is right before the next two chapters, isn't it? Also, you say counters, so isn't Neon still missing? Did we leave without Neon? Is that what you're telling me? We're not even sus of where she is? The counters are arriving soon. Come quickly. Snow White reaches out her hand and plucks a flower. She brings it to her nose and inhales. The scent is strong, but it's not the scent she remembers. She sets the plucked flower back down on the ground, then turns around and walks away.
もう二度と来ることはないな。
I guess there's no reason to come back. The white figure walks through the field of white flowers. But there is no white there. Only a different kind of white. That's kind of depressing. Okay, so that's the transition for the main story. It's a nice closure for that event. Anyways, this thing. We got caution tape. If you forgot about it, then probably wasn't important in the first place. Of treatment, rip, yeah. And then goes into label of pure emotional whiplash. Even the music. What is this techno, like, techno club type swing? What is this? Like, before we look at that, I just wanted to show this to people. The polling screen for label. Look at this. She's such a degenerate. I love her. She even has like the goth bunny doll. She's NIKKE's hex maniac. She's lovely. She's also very easily flustered from what I can see. She looks like a food shop. She's perfect, exactly. Like, she reads hentai in the back, you can poke her and she'll blush. She looks hot. What is there not to like about her? She's like your perfect goth girlfriend, who will show you all the hentai. So what other choice do we have but to learn more about her, right? can't get over the used tissues on the top right. Bruh. Surely, this event won't be depressing, right? It can't be, right? This is our breather? This is the break from all the bullshit we've went through? This is the reward? It's a bunch of horny? I forget, what was the... It's just a list. Let's read this. Inspection stamp. Some realities are hard to accept, and sometimes hiding them can be helpful. Okay. That's a bit sus. Currency. Locked book. A padlock exists to hide something. But if no one is there to open it, its meaning gradually fades away. Okay. Whatever that means. Assistant editor. I expect humor and horny. Shift up, don't slap me in the face. I don't need an emotional brick in something that looks like horny. A memory of that day. What? This is a punishment. A punishment handed down to me. NIKKE. Okay, anytime NIKKE's involved. Oh god. Gonna double back then double down on the trauma. We don't need like a Rapunzel situation, but instead of Red Hood making her horny, the trauma makes her horny. We don't need that. That is all. Now moving on. We will begin with the judgment of two NIKKEs affiliated with the bestseller squad. Arcana and Phantom. First, failure to comply with security protocols pertaining to unauthorized information. Second, attempting to conceal the matter without properly assessing the severity of the issue. Third, unauthorized access to information that could disrupt order within the ARK. Oh, is this because they showed, like both of them showed us the secret library? I thought we had authorization to that. Or did something else happen? Investigation into past cases identified two precedents with a 65% similarity. Both cases resulted in identical rulings. Accordingly, the judgment is rendered as follows. Phantom and Arcana, members of the bestseller squad, will undergo memory wipes. Again. This concludes the judgment. Next, for the remaining NIKKE, we will proceed with the judgment of label. First, failure to comply with security protocols pertaining to unauthorized information. Second, providing sensitive information to an unauthorized individual for personal reasons. Third, exposing highly sensitive information based on personal judgment, thereby compromising security and stability within the ARK. An investigation into past cases was conducted based on the above findings. As no identical precedents were found, judgment was rendered at our discretion. The ruling is as follows. Label status is to be maintained. This concludes the proceedings. NIKKE, wait a minute. Logistically speaking, shouldn't I receive the hardest punishment? I was the one who committed the gravest offense. So why is my status not affected? If all of your memories were to be erased, there is concern that a similar incident could reoccur in the future. This whole thing of history will repeat itself if no one knows. I have determined that preserving the memory of this incident is the best course of action to prevent reoccurrence. This too is a form of punishment, Label. From this point forward, you are to preserve these memories, and devote yourself to ensuring such an incident never happens again. Back then I had no idea. And having to bury those memories alone, rather than having them wiped, was a punishment far greater than any other. The hell happened? That's an intro to the event? The third member A. Okay, so before this event, in Phantoms and Arcana's events, Label was only mentioned by name. I don't think it was even in the event. I think it was in like Phantom's advisory scenes that she mentions Label. So we've never met her before. In the dead of night, when everyone should be fast asleep, scratching? I guess 2 nights in a row was pushing it after all. We can only have 1 night of peaceful rest. What's dripping? I haul myself up and make a cup of coffee. Okay. I thought that was a sus type of dripping for a second. Skimming through a few documents piled up beside me. Resource collection mission interim report. Quarterly resource supply overview. Resource supply plan performance report. Resource supply status analysis number 49. Seeing the towering stacks of documents is enough to make my head spin. If only someone would just fall out of the sky and lend me a hand. Yeah, right. Like that'll ever happen. Very well. I shall grant you your wish. Eh? Huh? Why are you in my ceiling again? Ow, my back. I've gotta be more careful when I use Kunsu's routes next time. One small mistake can lead to an accident like this. Phantom? Well, it's been a while, Monsieur. What are you doing here in the middle of the night? I was passing by your room along my route. When I heard your heavy sigh, how could I ignore such a cry for help? So what seems to be the problem? You can tell me whatever it is. I'll do my best to help you. Well, the truth is... I briefly explained my current predicament to Phantom. Let's see. You're quite fortunate. You know that? Why is that? It just so happens that the Phantom Thief standing before you is rather skilled at organizing documents. I see. Hey, what's with that look? Are you doubting my words? No, it's not that. I just find it fascinating that a Phantom Thief can be skilled at writing too. Kinda think of it. Phantom's day job is a librarian. She would definitely be a huge help with handwritten work. Ignoring how she has spelling errors every single word. Alright then, would you help me? Just the words I've been waiting to hear. Now then, Monsieur. Prepare to witness, with your very own eyes, the information processing prowess of Phantom. I'm scared, Chad. Oh. Phantom unleashes her abilities and clears the mountain of paperwork in no time. You're amazing. It's still too early to be surprised by this. Hang around me long enough, and there'll be plenty of surprises in store. I'm starting to see you in a new light. Thank you so much. Well, if you ever find yourself in need of assistance again, you know who to call. Well, I should get... At the very moment. One of the documents you organized flies toward me. Surface Resource Exploration Report. Written by Commander. Encountered a low-level raptor during the exploration on the surface. Scud NIKKE damage rate below 5%. Relevant data secured. Remaining hostile forces eliminated. Resource recovery target 25% of requested quota. Oh no. I was so overjoyed at the prospect of getting help and forgot one crucial fact. Phantom is an absolute menace at spelling. What is it, Mensur? Is there a problem? Take a look at this. Uh-oh. I forgot to run a spell check. And so Phantom departs after correcting every document with me. After submitting the paperwork, I fall into an unusually deep sleep. Okay. That just felt like an advisory scene. RB. So sweaty. Huh? The unpleasant feeling of being drenched snaps me awake. How long did I sleep? I hurriedly grab my phone and check the time. I've slept half the day away. I throw myself back onto the bed. With half-lidded eyes, I stare at my phone. Out of habit, I open the news tab. Or app. Did I say tab? App. As I scroll through several articles, my finger stops at one headline in particular. Huh? 90% of surface resource recovery target achieved. An astonishing achievement led by the ARK's commanders. The article states that all the commanders who participated in the recovery operation secured over 90% of their resource targets, achieving remarkable results. Something isn't right here. In the most recent mission, we didn't even reach half our target. Come to think of it, since the start of these resource recovery operations, the targets have been unreasonably high, nearly impossible to achieve. I have a bad feeling about this. To alleviate my growing sense of unease, I send a message to a certain librarian who works where all of the ARK's information was gathered. Phantom, do you have a moment? Oh, Monsieur. How may I help you? I read a report yesterday, and I think a news article came out based on it. The only thing is, some of the information doesn't match. Huh. Is that so? Yeah, so I wanted to check something. Do you know where the reports written by the other commanders are compiled? Not exactly sure too, but I believe they're kept deep inside the library. That's where Arcana works. That's right. but the one in charge of receiving the reports isn't Arcana as far as I know. Phantom, your spell checking is correcting to every single incorrect version of the word. Then who is? There is another person who works deep in the library. Who? Another member of Beast Sailor? Label. Now that she mentions it, I do remember there being 3 members of the bestseller squad. I had a question. A fan of the books about Phantom? Even your description has spelling errors, my god. It would be reasonable to assume she has those reports. Like, can I meet Label? I'll send you the coordinates to her room first. Head there. And I'll let Arcana know that you are coming. Okay, got it, thanks. Not the pant thieves. They'll steal your pants in the middle of the night. Straight off of your legs, too. I should head there for now. I leave the commander's room and head deep into the library. After passing through a maze-like series of corridors, I arrive at the coordinates Phantom sent me, only to find it's a door. But not the automatic doors commonly seen in the ARK. It is an old hinged door with a peephole. Is Arcana not here yet? I try sending Arcana a message, but there is no reply. What do I do now? Right then. The lens of the peephole glints. It feels like something is watching me. Is anyone there? I guess no one's around? There is no sign of life inside the room. Just to be sure, I try to peer through the peephole. The peephole is designed to look outward from inside the room, so it's hard to make out much. But one thing is certain. There is something purple on the other side. Well? See anything? Hold on. I think I can make out something. I see. Take all the time you need to look. Who's talking to me? I'll wait right beside you. Sure, thanks. There we go. About time you turned around. Arcana! Beyond the door. So you're telling me she's a Fuja, she's shy, and she's a shut-in? Even better. I guess it comes with the other two. She's perfect, exactly. What in the world are you doing? I haven't seen you in ages, and when I do, you're peeking into another girl's room? I can explain. Fine. It's you after all, so I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. So? What brings you here? Phantom said you'd be able to help me if I showed up here. Huh? Phantom said that. She didn't tell me anything. You didn't read the message I sent you earlier? Did you check your phone? My phone? Oh my. That's a lot of missed calls and messages. I must have set my phone to silent when I went to sleep and forgot about it. Well, at least you checked it now. So, to sum things up, the news report doesn't match what you submitted in your report. And you want to meet Label to get to the bottom of it. Is that right? Yep, that's exactly right. Funny coincidence. I'm actually here to meet Label too. You too. We're in the same spot, but she rarely shows her face. It'd be nice if the three of us in Bestseller could stick together. But since that rarely happens, it can feel a bit lonely at times. At any rate, since you're here as well, we definitely have to meet Label today. Do you have a plan? I've got the perfect strategy for just such an occasion. I call it Operation Enticement. Operation Enticement. Yes. Watch closely. Arcana tiptoes up to Label's door. Pork? She fills the cup she's holding to the brim with coffee. She sets it down in front of the door and steps aside. What are you doing? Arcana? Shh. Just wait and see. The old door opens with an unpleasant groan. Take this for the summoning ritual. We need to offer coffee. A thin, pale hand slips out through the crack and snatches the coffee. Did you see that? So she really was inside. I told you, didn't I? I've observed her for a long time. Label only reacts to a few specific types of bait. Take notes, chat. So, I came prepared with my secret weapon today. Oh? Arcana pulls out a book with a strangely reddish hue. Ta-da! What is that? Hot, blind impulses. Flagrant displays. Isn't that the book Rapunzel mentioned before? I've got a hot off the press new release. I wonder if anyone wants it. At that moment, movement stirs behind the door. Okay, bait her with coffee and hentai. I guess it's too bad if you're not interested. Looks like I'll have to return it to the restricted section. This new release was banned in the ARK for being too explicit. You want a peek, don't you, Label? Arcana grabs the doorknob. If you'd like, I could come inside and give you a tiny peek. Nice. It opened. So give her the smuttiest hentai you have, and you'll get her. We know how to label her now. The question is, what type of hentai does she like? Which tags does she like? We need to find out. Another flashback. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, in a dark, damp room that reeks of mold. Water pause. 100% yaoi? Oh, I know all the good shit then. I can bait her out really easily. There lives a girl. In a dark, damp room that reeks of mold. Label, why are you living in these conditions? The girl loves staying in her room so much that she sets herself inside and lives there. Oh, she's just like me. At least 50 tabs of AO3. Then one day, the girl stumbles upon an article about a man. The ARK's hero. And its hope. A beacon of light. Someone who reaches out a hand to every NIKKE. Is that an article about us? The MC? Wow. Wanted to know more about him. The girl scours all the information in the world to learn more. It turns out to be even more incredible than she imagines. The more the girl investigates, the deeper she falls for him. Oh dear lord. She's a fan. You're not like Rapunzel, but only for the Commander and hentai books, are you? Wow. She wonders if someday he might take her out of this place too. Would he extend his hand even to someone who has locked herself away in her room? We've done it before. Does Troni count as that case? Because she was similar, but that was because of extreme social anxiety. And so, holding on to that hope, the girl begins waiting for him every single day. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. 1 year becomes 2. But the girl never gives up. A lot of time goes by. Yet whenever the girl thinks of that man, a bright smile spreads across her face. So she's also delusional. Even better. Oh god. She really does look like a hex mage. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's us. Wonderful. Does she count as a stalker, like an internet stalker? What happens if I poke you in this state? When will we finally be able to meet? Is anyone there? Oh no. I interrupted her gooning. I guess no one's around. Okay, this is her perspective. An adult man's voice, utterly out of place, echoes from outside the eerie confines of the girl's room. The girl hurriedly peers outside through the peephole. Could this be fate? Though she has never seen his face nor heard his voice before, she knows it's instinctively. I found you. He has come to find her. Just as I predicted. One I dreamed of has finally come. He's come to take me away from this dark place. He has come all this way for me. That's right, Label. I'm getting out of this dark place. Is she hallucinating my voice now? The helly. What? You could never have said such a thing, you say? No. The girl hears it clearly. Yeah, she's hallucinating. Gooning fancy enabled. We got the gooning vision. His voice. The man who lingers by the door begins walking toward the girl. Before she knows it, separated only by the door, they find themselves face to face. Yes, okay, come closer to me. She's going. Yes, just like that. A little more. You must have suffered all these years. The man places a cup of coffee in front of the door for the girl. That was Arcana! And we haven't said shit. We were completely quiet when we put that down. It shows her the book she has wanted most. So Arcana doesn't exist in the Goon vision. Understood. I can't hold back anymore. I just can't. Heavy breathing ensues. Okay, now we're back. In that moment, Label sees it. The light pouring out from behind the man. And the man standing before her. How? Oh dear lord. Label, we just met. We just met. 07, unbeknownst to Commander, Label has locked on. Hello? We've been waiting for you, huh? You have? That's a wallpaper? Oh, I'll be using it. I know that. There's no need to be embarrassed. I know everything about you. Even the fact that you came all the way here to find me. You're not too off the mark, but... I knew it! I knew my instincts were right. Can you see it? This thick, crimson thread that binds us together. She's sniffing me. She's sniffing me, chat. You smell amazing. You even wore cologne for me. Or is that your natural scent? I like it either way. You're perfect. I think I'm in danger. But in a good way. Do not respond natural. I mean, I just got sniffed. And if I'm being honest, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I study Label on her feet as she clings to me. Let's calm down first. Would never see the light of day if you did. I will be trapped in her room with her, bound to the bed, used as a body pillow. Okay. If that's your command. Hey, yo. You want me to command you? Alright. Wow. You're coming on awfully strong, Label. Her face. Arcana! What are you doing here? Long time no see, Label. You look like you've been doing pretty well. It's been so long since we met. No wonder you're flustered. Are you worried things might be awkward between us? Well, don't worry. I've come to brighten your day. I'll tear down the walls you've built up around yourself. What the? Was it something I said? I honestly don't know. Her reaction does seem pretty strange. Right? It feels like she's acting guilty or something. I think I need to get to know Label a little more. Alright, I'll leave it to you. I'd love to help, but if I stick around, she'll just stay like that forever. I get it. Label seems friendly toward me. Oh, just friendly, you say? So it shouldn't be too difficult to approach her. Alright. I trust you've got this covered. Just don't get too close, or I might get jealous. Okay? I'm in danger. I'm being pulled between two women. Friendly approaches her, and Commander goes missing. A few days after meeting Label. Is it already tomorrow? I cleared my schedule so I can head back to the library. We got the day open just for her. We can go missing if we want to. As I ponder how to approach Label. Ah shit, I left the vibrator on. Could be texting me at this hour. Ah, Jesus! Who said on high? Did I rent out the book? I would imagine Arcana still has it. What in the world? Hello, Label. What's your description? Are you really looking at my profile right now? That's like something I would write, honestly. She's perfect. Okay, what's all the spam? Cocoa Puff? Cocoa Puff? Cocoa Puff? Cocoa Puff? Oh no. Oh. You're in my messages. Label? Yes, it's me. Label. How did you get my number? Oh, that... The flow of messages coming in at light speed abruptly stops. You don't have to explain if you can't. Anyway, are you free tomorrow? I knew it! How are we in distant sync? What do you mean? Actually, I was planning on inviting you to a tea party tomorrow. A tea party? Yep. Somewhere very elegant, with a great atmosphere. I don't really know what this is about, but it feels like a perfect chance to have some alone time with Label, not in that way. Alright, sure. So Hex Meeting apparently first appeared in 2002, so about 23 to 24 years old. So the same age as me. I'm a 2002. Same age as me. Wonderful. Great. Perfect. I knew you'd say that. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I'll send you the address. See you there. I've got a bad feeling about this. But I should get some sleep and get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, this is fancy, Jesus. Hi, it's a very elegant room with a great atmosphere. There's food I brought from my room. And then... the highlight of the tea party. Me. This is perfect. I prepared so much. He'll love it, right? I set this all up for him myself, after all. Oh, finally. He's here. Is this the right place? You're welcome. Okay, she is like delusional. She's Delulu. I thought you said we'd be somewhere elegant with a great atmosphere. I look around. We're in a space that's closer to a storage room than an actual room. Dusty boxes are piled up everywhere. And on top of them sits the food Label prepared. You didn't, like, spike my food, right? I've always wanted to do this. A tea party together with the one I love. I'm not the only one who's happy right now, am I? You're happy too, right? Yeah, I'm happy too. I knew you'd say that. Oh, right. You gave me a drink last time. It's time I return the favor. And what's this? It's a special coffee brewed by me, I think. Is this like one of those situations where you put a certain liquid in the coffee as well? Surely not, right? The coffee label serves me looks unusually thick. Oh no, it might be. Would you like to try it? Alright. So we're back to that one really perverted anime. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. The liquid that touches my tongue carries none of the familiar fragrance of coffee. Instead, a strong, fishy bitterness overwhelms me. There's a good chance it's past its expiration date. I don't know about that, Commander. Sometimes, a certain thing can taste fishy, too. Especially if, they stay in the room all the times and, don't bathe, you know? Do you like it? Label looks at me expectantly. With great effort, I managed to choke down the coffee. It tastes incredible. And so the tea party begins. I spend time with Label, waiting for the right moment to ask her some questions. Is it okay if I ask you something? At last. You want to know more about me? Something like that. That's great. Fire away. I'll tell you anything. You live in the library, right? Yes, that's right. I live deep inside the library. Then what kind of work do you do? What kind of work do I do? Yeah, I'm suddenly curious. You could say I keep records of the information in the library. It's nothing important. You don't need to concern yourself with it. Anyway, would you like to try my favorite cookies? I'm sure you'll feel great once you have a taste. The cookies look awfully dark. Label's heart still seems closed for now. At this point, I need to find a way to put her at ease. What if we try poking her? Shimoneta? I do not remember the name. I need to search it up. Shimoneta... Yes. Yes, that one. Where she uses her love juices in the drink. Yeah, that one. So many gifs from that anime circulated on the internet because there's so many sus moments. A few days later. He's not here yet, is he? Well then. That jacket Cook. You took my jacket. That jacket Cookbook left behind last time. I'll just use it until the end of this week, then return it. Use it how, ma'am? Do you mean, like, wearing it, or do you mean, use it in a different way? Oh god, she's sniffing again. This is the best. Excuse me? What are you doing? Huff. If it's not a good time, I can come back later. No. Please stay. You came to save me after all. I can't turn you away. Rest in peace, Commander. A few more days later. In front of the door to Label's room. Having made no progress, I make plans with Label again. She's probably waiting for me in the storage room by now. Which means there's no one in her room. There might be information inside. I know it's wrong, but it should be okay if it's just for a moment, right? The thought flashes through my mind. Suddenly. Hello, Puff. You came to save me again. I'm so happy. I try approaching her room several times after that, but Label always appears behind me, as if she knows. In the end, I'm unable to obtain any special information. Does she have like a camera pointed toward her door? Censored memories. In a dark, damp room. Label is buried under a mountain of reports. Okay, another flashback. She organizes the documents in an instant. She compiles the statistics. Slides the documents into envelopes. Then seals them with tape labeled censored. Good. All that's left is to deliver them. After completing her work, she returns to a familiar space to wipe away the memories lingering in her mind from the day's work. It's cold. Will lies down on the bed, protruding from a large cylindrical machine. She closes her eyes, as if resigned to her fate, and folds her hands neatly in front of her. Memory wipe procedure initiated. It's dark. She is bereft of all thoughts and emotions. This moment might be the most comfortable part of the entire process. Label wonders cautiously. It's you. The one who left us to die like dogs on the surface. Who are you? Back from doing a job. Yes, but none of NIKKE you erased from your report. The probability of a commander dying in the first operation is 70%. In a squad where the commander's chances of living are that low, what do you think the odds are for a mass-produced NIKKE? And yet, what did you report instead? A successful operation with 3 injured and 0 dead? Don't make me laugh. I saw it with my own eyes. At least 30 died out there. Let me ask you just one thing. Why did you do it? Why? I just... They said doing so would keep the ARK at peace. Peace, huh? I see. Peace is nice. But what about them? Before Label's eyes, piles of corpses come into view. No. I'm sorry. We're disappointed in you, Label. Label stands in the center of the memory wiping room. Before her, Arcana and Phantom lie side by side in front of the machine. So disappointed. What happened to us is all because of you. It's such a same label. We truly trusted you. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so he's traumatized too. Even better. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Memory light complete. Are you free today? Okay, pass. You come to save me again today. Okay, so is a degen, it's a shut-in, doesn't shower, has trauma, is shy, is Delulu, is a goth girl. Definitely would save scum this rat in a game. Yeah. An alternate ending, eh? I meet Label every single day, but each day is nothing more than a repeat of the last. I haven't achieved anything of note. Could you sit over there? Or sit over here? I want to watch you eat. Up close. Sure. If this keeps up, today will be another bust like the others. I realize I need to get some information before it's too late. Hey, Label. Are you not close with your squad mates? My squad mates? Wouldn't it be nice if we all had a tea party together? Well, I suppose so, but it still feels a little awkward. And more than anything else, there's no reason for them to get close to someone like me. Does there have to be a reason? Of course. If I were to approach them without thinking, and something happened to the both of them, what sort of thing? Did something happen between you guys? I see. Hugapuff. You knew all along, didn't you? What are you talking about? Yes, that's right. I guess there was no hiding it. Someone as high-ranking as you would surely know about it. No. Something like that must never happen again. Label, are you okay? No. No. Label doesn't seem to hear my words. She begins backing away toward the exit. I think that's it for today's tea party. Label lifts her teacup with trembling hands. Are you okay? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? Stay here. I'll go find something to clean this up. No, Kanopa. I'll take care of this myself. You should head back. Broken glass is very dangerous, after all. Okay, add on depressed. I see. So that's how she reacted. Yes, it was as if she was suffering from some kind of trauma. A trauma? You think we're involved somehow? I'm only asking to be sure. Nothing ever happened between you guys, right? What are you talking about? We barely ever see her. How could anything have possibly happened? Arcana's right. We haven't spent enough time together for there to have been any history between us. This is tough. Now that I think about it, I do remember something strange. What is it? The three of us first met on the same day, at the same time. Yet Label has been avoiding us ever since. It's as if something happened between us. Which means... Label already knew all about us. That must be it. Perhaps something happened before y'all met. I suppose so. Otherwise... someone must have tampered with our memories. Don't get so worked up. I'm only speculating. Well, either way, we'll have to hear it directly from her. That seems to be our only option for the time being. We could keep racking our brains, but it'd only lead to more speculation. I'll leave it to you, Monsieur. Alright. Stealing myself, I send Label a single message. There's only so many scenes left. Label seems to have seen my message, but she doesn't reply. I can't afford to keep waiting like this, so I head for the library once again. In front of Label's room, I take a deep breath. I'm just about to knock when the door opens, but no one is standing there. The sound comes from below. I look down. There, Label is lying flat on the floor. I'm sorry. What are you doing? I've been thinking. It seems I've committed a grave offense. I'm sorry for disappearing so rudely before. What can I do to make you feel better? I'll do anything you ask. If you tell me to lick your shoes, I'll lick them. If you tell me to crawl between your legs, I'll do it. Hey, yo. Just please. Don't abandon me. Add-on has abandonment issues. I'm sorry. Label, calm down. I managed to calm Label. Throat died. I managed to calm Label, who is clearly not in her right mind. I'm not angry. You can trust me. Really? Of course. There's no way I'd get angry over something like that. Oh. Thank goodness. I'm sorry for doubting you. And stop apologizing. Okay. I'm sorry for apologizing. I knew it. I didn't think things through. There's no way you'd act like that. Because you're the one who will save me. You keep mentioning the word save. Do you really think I'm the one who can save you? Of course. You and I are bound by fate. How could I have ever doubted you? And then tell me. Tell me what happened. And how I can help you. Deep down, the girl carries a faint hope. Given how high he has risen in the ARK, maybe he is the one who can lighten her burden. She spoke of salvation without really knowing what it meant, and now wonders if he might reach out a helping hand to someone like her. Trust me. She had been so terribly weak back then. Unlike what happened with Phantom and Arcana, she wondered if things would be different this time. But it's you. When you left us to die like dogs on the surface. Disappointed in your Arcana. She's hallucinating again. She's hallucinating. Okay. And I'll tell you about the work I do. We're on the right route, chat. We're not getting the bad ending in dating sim. The door that went open. Abel hesitates for a long time before finally speaking. Her job is to organize and compile the reports written by commanders and NIKKEs. Using the data collected, she compiles various statistics. That's all you do. Of course. I would never lie to you. I'm not convinced by her answer. It feels like she's still hiding something. Can't you trust me? Can't you trust us? If something's troubling you, tell me. That's right, if something's troubling you, please tell us. Is that what her spawn mates told her back in the day? We won't resent you for it. The scene feels awfully familiar. A sense of deja vu washes over her. You have to tell me so I can save you. The man extends his hand to the girl, just as she had always dreamed. This is the moment she longed for. But the unnerving sense of deja vu makes her hesitate. Oh my, you must be Label. Nice to meet you. I'm Arcana. And this is Phantom. So you're the new recruit. It's a pleasure to meet you. The girl can remember her life prior to becoming a NIKKE. But one thing is certain. It's the first time she has ever felt another person's warmth. Aren't you going to shake my hand? Nice to meet you too. That's more like it. I look forward to working with you, Label. Well then, since we're all here, why don't we take a photo to mark the occasion? Sounds like a fine idea. Great. Would you step over here for a moment? Label, what are you doing over there? Come over here. Coming. Alright, I'll take the picture now. Let's see. Label, could you smile a little more? Like this? A bit more. Like this? That might be too much, Label. There we go, alright. 1, 2, 3. It's the first time she has ever felt the warmth of another person. Because of that, the moment feels all the more precious. Her heart begins to open. Tell us, Label. What's going on? It feels like you've been spending more and more time in your room. Does it have to do with the new work you were assigned? Oh. It's nothing. You don't need to worry. Can't you trust us? That's right, if something's troubling you, please tell us. We won't resent you for it. The girl thinks it over. These people might truly be trustworthy. Maybe they can help carry the weight in your heart. Well, in that case, could you come to my room for a moment? I'm sorry. Because of me, both of you... It's such a shame, Label. I thought we were closer than this. You don't need to feel guilty. We would have done the same in your place. Yes, it's disappointing. But surely you don't think we resent you? We get our memories wiped every day anyway. But this time, the memory wipe... It's fine. Even if our memories disappear, you can always come back to us again. Just like when we first met. We'll see you later. We'll be off now. Right. They didn't resent me. They trusted me. Yet what I did to them was... In that moment, the girl makes a vow. No one will ever be hurt because of her again. Ever. Yeah, there it is. I can't tell you. Everyone who's ever put their trust in me has... Label has been obsessively hiding her work, acting as if it must never be exposed. If she can access the reports written by commanders and NIKKEs, it would be easy for her to alter their contents. I organize my thoughts, and my suspicions begin to harden into certainty. The work you're doing, you're altering the contents of the reports, aren't you? How did you know that? No. You can't. You can't. Do you know what will happen to you if you know that information? Willow begins shaking like a leaf. No. So this is how it all ends. Even you. Once again, I've hurt someone I love. I knew it. I never should have approached you. I never should have loved anyone. It only leads to misery in the end. Label. As the girl breaks down, Hugpoke pulls her into a silent embrace. Everything's okay now. No. It's not okay. Phantom Arcana trusted me. If you knew what happened to them, you wouldn't... Label. You know me well, don't you? Yes. When we were in that room together, what did you see? What? You said you've been waiting for me. I saw the ARK's hero. And its hope. A beacon of light. Someone who reaches a hand out to every NIKKE. And the one who would save Label. That's far more praise than I deserve. But I'll accept it for now. What's that supposed to mean? This might sound a little arrogant, but I'll make it clear to you. The hero of the ARK won't break so easily. I'll hold on to your hope until the very end. We also have like a shit ton of clearance, so I think we're fine. Now those words. The shattered glass, which had done nothing but hurt others with its sharp edges, slowly begins to piece itself back together. Huff. What should I do? I give you my word. So don't worry. Speak freely. What troubles you? The words she has wanted to say. What I told you before, that wasn't a lie. You said you organized and compiled reports. Yes, and I compiled the statistics too. At least, that's what people are told. In reality, it's a little different. Mabel hesitates for a moment, then speaks. I manipulate information that could threaten the ARK's stability, and released it to the media. Adjusting any negative information in the reports, that's the core of my job. For example, the number of casualties, unstable supply levels, things like that. Power outages caused by the ARK's failing infrastructure. When something goes wrong with the Splendiman, or when Raptures infiltrate the ARK, I had a hand in all of it, I think. What ends up being reported often goes against common sense. In the reports, those who never returned exist only as numbers. And I falsified even those numbers. So, instead of simply being dead, it's as if they never existed. No one remembers them. They've vanished from everyone's memory. You can scream at me if you want. I've deceived and manipulated the people in the ARK. I stole the truth from them, when it was their right to know. You don't remember all of it, do you? No, it's not like that. After my work is finished each day, I undergo a memory wipe. So the details are all a bit fuzzy. I deprive them of their right to know the truth. And you're okay with that? Of course. I'm helping the ARK. Do you remember? The day the video was broadcasted on the Dome of Eternity. I've heard of it. People panicked. That year, the death toll skyrocketed. The truth is, we're all trapped in the ARK. But we aren't strong enough to face that ugly truth. Whether there will be enough food for the day, or if there will be power tomorrow, many in the ARK don't have the luxury to think about the future. So they choose to cover it up, until the day we reclaim the surface. So people wouldn't lose hope. Sometimes I wonder if this is really the right thing to do. But if being the villain means everyone else can be happy, then someone has to do it. And that alone is enough for me. It's a heavy burden. That's why I was afraid when you first approached me. I was scared that what happened with Phantom and Arcana would happen again. So something did happen between you guys. Yes, that's right. The responsibility of manipulating the ARK's information was weighing heavily on me. And the two of them reached out to help. I never should have accepted it. I was foolish. I didn't realize the full weight of my responsibility. And I ended up passing that burden onto both of them. That's why you've been avoiding them. Yes. I don't deserve to face them. I selfishly shifted that burden onto them, while shamelessly keeping all the memories to myself. Well, one thing is clear now. What's that? They don't resent you. But they've suffered so much because of it. If you were in their shoes, would you have acted differently? Label, Being able to remember isn't a curse. It's a blessing that lets you create a better future. If you keep saying things like that, I hope you'll cherish not just me, but the two of them as well. Do you want to go and be with them? Yes, I do. Also, there's something I want to tell you. There is? To me. Gets up close. In a gesture of utmost sincerity, I bow my head. A sign of respect for Label, and the burden she bears. For the lives still remaining in the ARK, and for every sacrifice that disappeared without ever being named. What are you doing? Thank you, Label, for protecting the ARK. The moment the girl had dreamed of had finally become reality. No, thank you. Please, stay with me. Always. The girl was no longer afraid. With him by her side, she feels like she can accomplish anything. Hi Zeb. However, her obsession, which only grows stronger, is a story for another time. You've horribly lost all game zone now. That's a news. Which game were y'all playing? Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's true. Also, grammar-wise, it would be sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We just went here for help as a last resort, but in the end, nothing changed. Yes. Well, he is human after all. There are some things he simply can't fix. Yeah. It can't be helped. Let's call it a day. Yeah. Arcana? Are you even listening to me? Oops. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. It was like the League of Legends, but from Dragon Ball. We're just testing out. Fair enough. I'm wondering if there's a certain someone in chat since Dragon Ball was mentioned. He'll pop up if he heard it or seen it, I guess. I understand how much this hurts, but selling out like this isn't good for you. And me, how's the game going? The game's going good. The new character is very amusing. I like her. We have learned that Label is a shut-in. We've learned that she is a degen. We've learned that she is very shy. Is a bit delusional. Has trauma. Has depression. Has, abandonment issues. Has trust issues. But she's very head-pattable. And she needs hugs. She's also a goth girl. Who sniffs our jacket. The new character is perfect exactly. Because from your perspective, this passed from an apocalyptic tragedy to a dating game. Of course, she has a lot of trauma. I mean, Label wants to tie us up and sniff us. Arcana wants to bang us and become our wife. Phantom's our sister who is watching all this happen. That's basically what Bestseller Squad is like. That's just the perfect way to chill your NIKKE, to be honest. Yeah, apocalyptic tragedy, everyone's at war, everyone's dying, but MC is banging everyone. It's a win-win. But still, how am I not supposed to be upset? I really thought we might finally get close to her. Well, moping won't solve anything either. Let's leave it at that for today and talk about this again later. Alright. Phantom supports Arcana as she sags limply, guiding her to the entrance of the library. Jeez, Arcana, you weigh a ton. I wish you'd walk on your own. Phantom, what did you just say? I could have sworn he said something terribly discourteous toward a lady. I'm sorry. I was helping my colleague and didn't see... Huh? Label? I'm sorry. The girl musters up her courage and approaches them. But the moment she comes face to face with them, fear overwhelms her. She squeezes her eyes shut and collapses to the floor. She just blue screened and noped. She shut down. Oh, there she is. You love that type of character? Label's wonderful. Label? Thank you. Thank you, Label. Your bravery means more to us than you know. Those warm words she hadn't heard in a very long time. Startled by the unexpected response, the girl cautiously opens her eyes. And before her... Are you going to take my hand? Come on, get up, Label. Oh. Once again, a hand is extended toward her. Label struggles to hold back her tears. Welcome back, Label. Hey, I've got an idea. Since we're all together again, why don't we take a photo to mark the occasion? And then it crosses our minds. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to go back once more. Okay. Back to their warm company. An editor and... Ah, that's wholesome. We still have hard mode soon. I don't know what direction they're taking hard mode. It's either gonna be like Bestseller Squad hanging together, or we're gonna be threatened with the horny. I'm really curious what her advisory scenes are like, if I'm being honest. Has stop punching. Finally a wholesome moment. Holy boba! It's like, finish the scene. That was nice. That was cute. Goes back to this screen. Holy Jesus, melons. Label has probably read a few fics of Commander. I don't doubt it. She's perfect, exactly. If I'm being honest, I'm very tempted to pull her. But she's like a normal banner, so I have to wait until she's added to standard to get her. And I don't know when I'm gonna get her then. I'm very tempted. But she's like a filler banner, so she's probably not that good, all things considered. If you pull, you won't even wish on Tetra. You're hoping for Label. Like her burst animation, she is actually like bursting. She's busting. She's reading the hentai and having a nosebleed. Imagine that as like a lobby background. That's perfect. She's wonderful. She's very much a goner. Label, a librarian at the ARK's library who works alongside Phantom. She keeps her distance from others due to her chronic delusions and gloomy personality. But deep down, she craves friendship and love, and dreams of the day she'll finally find them. She's adorable. Also a bit degenerate. It's perfect. Am I even worthy of being in your presence? Her voice. She's perfect. I love her.
やっぱり私がここに来るのは嫌だったんですか。すみません、すみません、すみません。出しゃばってすみません。
You're fine, Label. Stop apologizing. You don't really want me here, do you? No, we want you here. You're perfect. You're wonderful. You're lovely.
お望みならあのゴミ箱に入ってますね。
If that's what you want, I'll go sit in the trash can over there. No, Label, you're not trash. Me every time I make a grammar mistake, you're fine.
俺、一体どこへ
Oh.
他の女と会ってるとかまさかそんなね
Wait, why did it... Okay, the first line sounds like she's having like abandonment issues again. Why does the second line sound like she's gooning somewhat?
俺一体どこへ他の女と会ってるとかまさかそんなね
Where did you go? You're not meeting another woman, are you? She's fantasizing, chat.
早く部屋に戻りたい
I just want to hurry back to my room. She's just like me, for real, for real.
ここは人が多すぎる
There are too many people here.
びっくりした
Oh, that was adorable.
びっくりした
She's jumpy. So she's the type that goes eek when you poke her. She's lovely. What are expressions? Default? Angie. Let me see if we can make it bigger for y'all in terms of her face. We're gonna be moving her to a bit to the side. Let's look at her face. Even her Angie's cute. Joyful looks like she's kinda gooning in her brain. Depressed is a head pat. Confused is adorable. Sad. Shy? That's adorable. Smiling. Her smile is pretty. Daydreaming. Surprised. I like the little cat mouth, the triangle mouth. She's cute. Pensive. Okay, let's make you normal size again. There we go. Her expressions are wonderful. You like the surprised one? Which one's considered surprised? This one? No, this one. The cat mouth one? Yeah, I like it. She looks very cute. Did her gun just puff out smoke? Her gun has like the skull symbol. She's such a goth. Why are there mushrooms coming out of your gun? Label? Why do you have mushrooms on your gun? Like, those aren't just stickers. They're actually growing out of the stock. No, shoulder brace. That's the shoulder brace. She just goes to war on slippers. I mean, she gotta be comfy, you know? They got cat paws on the bottom. Also, goddamn, she has a booty. Ma'am, you have a bakery. But look at the cat paws. Also, why is the bunny's eyes glowing? The hell? Look at that bakery. The stuffed rabbit on the back as well. She's adorable. She's adorable goth girlfriend material. They're bullying her. Goddamn, did you see that jiggle? Even her chibi has a ton of melons. I like the little like purple decal on the bottom of her dress. God damn it, I want her. I don't pull for normal banners though. That is pain. Because this is also still going, and honestly it would be better to pull here if I am pulling anywhere. We do have standard tickets. We have friendships. Let's cope with our friendship pulls. We need to meet our gotcha itch. We need to scratch our itch. Jesus Christ, that was horrible. If your friendship pulls, I don't know how to feel about that. I think our luck is like, eh. The gambling addiction is real. Hey, I need to gacha somewhere, okay? 99% of gamblers quit before they win big? Don't tell me that. I need to be saving for like the next big banner. And I don't know who it's gonna be, honestly, because we just had the New Year's banner, which it was heavy snow. The next, like, Pilgrim banner? I'm trying to think. It would be the half anniversary. Their anniversary is in November, so the half anniversary is... It's not for a while. We technically could pull. We could. I need to check if all these are up to date. I think they are. I need to get more of a Tove. Let's see, we need both maid. We need a maid duo. We need more killer wife. We need to Vesti, and ironically, Soline's actually good for solo raids, so I do need her. We can replace one of them eventually. I don't know with who though. You believe, fuck, believe there. Were you trying to spell believe correctly? I think you had it correct on the second attempt. Because I don't think the last one's correct. Usually things don't end with E-I-V-E. Second was so it's correct, yeah. When you do like Eve at the end of the word, it's I-E-V-E. Or just E-V-E. The point came across, yes. Like, over time, English has... It doesn't make sense. It has a lot of weird rules, but you'll see patterns eventually. At least with the way things are spelled. That's just one of the patterns you'll notice, is if it ends with like a Eve, it's I first before E. Let's see, is my sales up to date? Jackal we need more of for PvP. Laplace. Save it. Maxwell Ein. Flora, Trina, Pepper, Senti. Yeah, that should be good. Do you hear the origins of English is just an amalgamation of other languages and put into a weird filter? Yeah. So, are there rules? Technically? Are they consistent? Hell no. It's like one of the languages where it's like, you just need to remember it. That's all it is. A ton of practice, memorization. It doesn't make any sense. Because at least spelling-wise, there are patterns. Pronunciation, there are none. There are no patterns. That reminds me of an Instagram reel that I saw where someone was going through like the different pronunciations of a word, and they all ended the same, like spelling-wise, but they all had different pronunciations because of what came before it. Does it make any sense? No. Did we roll with it anyways? Yes. You have issues pronouncing the words though. To be fair, depending on what accent you have, though, and any like TH sound, it can be really hard to say. Like, I have to enunciate really clearly to say it properly, though. When I'm, like, talking casually, THs don't work that well with my tongue because my tongue is a mash between English and Korean. So. Yeah, TH is hard for a lot of people, for non-English speakers. You just say through. Korean? Yeah. I was raised in America, but I am Korean. So I grew up learning both, and the way I pronounce things is an abomination of two of them combined. That just reminds me of like though, through, throughout, through. What other ones are there? One of the hardest things for me, I don't know why I remember this randomly, but one of the hardest things for me to spell when I was younger was beautiful. The spelling for that word makes no sense. Like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense. That's actually really cool. I am proud to be Korean. Do I know any of their culture? Hell no. But I don't hide it. It really doesn't. Because beautiful, the way beautiful is spelled. Let me put in the patch notes. And if I can spell it correctly. Beautiful. It's spelled like that. And the only reason it's spelled like that is because English derives from, I believe, Latin, right? So we have bow, or bow. Bow, I think it was Latin. It means beautiful in Latin. But we have to be a little different, right? So, not G. We added in this. Why? I don't know. What other words ends with tiffle? Tiffle kind of sounds funny. Tiffle. Man, it's supposed to be like bow. And I think there's like 2 different versions of bow as well, depending on gender. I knew someone named Bo. That's the only reason I know this. Plentiful. Yeah, plentiful is another one. You don't really see tiffle as an ending to a lot of words, though. Another one is gorgeous. That can confuse people. At least it confused me when I was younger. Because gorgeous also doesn't make sense. It makes more sense than beautiful, I will say, because it's like gore than just. But it's like Gia. Is it obvious that I study like English as a hobby sometimes? It comes with correcting a lot of my friends' writing. I can understand really well American English, but I'm sorry I can't understand shit from the British accent, Nate. There's English, there's British English, and there's Australian English. Then you have Southern English. When you add accents into a language that already doesn't make any sense, you start having issues, and that's completely understandable. Then you have Indian English, and you have Asian English. They're all a bit different because, I mean, let me remember if I can remember the accents correctly. The British English, they tend to discard the T sound when they pronounce things. Aussie English puts a swing to everything, if that makes sense. Southern English, how do you describe a Southern accent? Southern and Australian, I feel like, are the 2 closest of the accents, but they're like different types of swing. More drawn out words? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Indian English is very clipped, and their pronunciation is ass. Like, no offense, but your pronunciation is ass. If you're doing an Indian accent. Asian English, they can't do hard syllables. So it ends up sounding like slurred almost. Like someone's drunk. Talking English is a fun one to try to understand, more drawn out word. Imagine Spanish. My country has an accent with more invented local words from all the Spanish speaking countries. Oh dear lord. How many different types of Spanish are there? Because I know there is quite a handful, and like the accent in Spanish also depends on what region you're in, I think. At least I think that's what one of my friends told me before. Even other countries struggle to understand us, even if it's the same language. Yeah. Too many? Yeah, that's the friend. Because there was another VTuber that I watched. They were talking about how I think one of them speaks like Spanish, and they were talking about how they can understand someone who like speaks Portuguese because there's things that are borrowed between the two languages. But like obviously there are a ton of gaps in between. I can imagine it's like that, but it's all Spanish. Famous soccer Alice to play one. Oh. I think I need all of them. Yeah. We have a lot of similarities with Portuguese and Italian. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know what the differences or similarities are though. Like the Spaniard languages, is that the correct way to refer to them? I don't know much about them, if I'm being honest. I know a lot about the Asian languages and like the Latin languages. But Latin mainly meaning English. You can half understand what they say. It's better than nothing. That's like the same case if you know Korean. You end up learning words in Japanese and Chinese as well because they share a lot of like borrowed words. Mainly because of war and invasions and crossovers. And one country taking over the other for a time period. Rapid Crown Red Hood? Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this. Like, admittedly, on all accounts, my Korean is ass cheeks. It's booty ass cheeks. Can I understand it? Conversationally, minimally. Can I speak it? Yes, but other Korean will have a hard time understanding me because I have an American accent. Can I write it? Hell no. Can I read it like a child? Like a child level. I never learned it properly. I need to. I'm going to. Like, it's depressing when you're Korean, but you know more Japanese than Korean. How do you say apple in Korean? Saga. You say it's saga. Spelling wise, like, romanized. I don't think it's like the series saga. Like they added another syllable in between for the romanized, I think. Let me confirm. Apple is always the first word you learn besides this word. This funny thing about Korean, there aren't many slurs, like, in terms of comparing it to English. Korean is a very respectful language, so like singular words, they don't have a ton of slurs. They have a few for things like shit. They don't have an equivalent to fuck, I don't think. What Korean does best is making a phrase to insult someone else. Like a very offhanded, what did you just say phrase. That's what they specialize in. Yeah, that's right. They added like a different. Yeah, apple, it would be like spelled like that in romanized to saga. If I'm using the American accent, saga, but actually pronouncing it saga. Hearing this is funny because you can turn any word into a slur. Exactly. If you phrase it in the correct enunciation, and intention. Anything can be an insult. I don't think I did my tower dailies. Why is there something on the rankings? Skill Sam, you are insane. How so? What was I talking about? My brain cannot hold, like, words as thoughts. My brain is a giant compilation of images. There's an actual phrase for it. I wrote it down somewhere because I keep forgetting what it's called. An endophasia? I have an endophasia. So I can't hold, like, actual phrases or words as thoughts. Anything I say, it is being spewed out of nowhere. So the moment I say something, unless I am, like, actively thinking of what I said, that train has left the station. It is gone. I can turn any word into an insult. I'm not gonna, like, start cussing people out on stream. But basically, if you say a compliment in the correct, like, tone, it can turn into an insult. Like, anything you say towards a person with the correct intentions can turn into an insult because of sarcasm, mainly. English is a very heavily sarcastic language. And a lot of people struggle to learn sarcasm because many languages don't have it, actually. Especially, like, Asian languages. They don't use sarcasm. They don't get it. They take everything at face value. Because you're a real piece of apple. Not quite like that. What that feels like is like a little kid trying to insult someone. They get a head pat. I just opened my notes with the official, like, names for all the things that I have with my brain. Hey, I have so many things. And then the astigmatism. Then I have hyperhidrosis in both polymer form and other. We're ignoring all the depression, social anxiety, OCD. I probably have ADHD, honestly. Not confirmed. And, like, a whole entire list of non-official things as well. Because the thing with an endophasia, mainly people think of the other version, which is you can't visualize, like, images in your brain. That's the more common or well-known one. I have the less common one, which is I can't have words in my brain. I can visualize perfectly well, though. And some people have both, which means their brain is quiet as hell. There is nothing in their brain. They're empty-headed. I do wonder what it's like to have, like, an inner monologue. It's like having a tiny version of yourself on your shoulder at all times.
大人になるまで待っててほしい。みんなで楽しみましょう。
I don't know if I can do this so well.
大人になるまで待っててほしい。
That's getting out. I just imagine mine as like the narrator you see in cartoons. That's a good way to describe it. I can imagine that. You gotta be weird because in your head you'd sound different than you actually sound. Well, it's weird for most people to hear their own voice, isn't it? Because you hear yourself differently because it's echoing in your own head. So the tone, pitch, it's already different from what others hear. So the narrator has a different voice or something. I can imagine it being like your narrator in your head has the voice that you wish you had. It's your ideal voice, probably. Now your ideal voice may be telling you to grab a rope and do a human pinata for some people, but at least they have a hopefully nice voice. Either that or your inner voice is horny as hell, which I don't see that as an issue. Or both. You should listen to the voices? No. Don't get drawn in by the voices of depression. Don't let them take over. Mihara, stop being horny. The thing with my brain, it's either... It supplies me like a random thought, but there's no words attached to it. It's like the feeling of the thought, if that makes sense. Like, you can see a blurry outline of the whole image, but there's no content. Whenever I think of something. The feeling of the thought. It's hard to describe, I already forgot the name of the term. It's hard to describe not having an inner monologue. This here, yeah, points at that thing. That thing is the thought. Sounds like getting a random package you forgot you ordered? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if it's obvious, but the way I converse, like the topics I choose, they're not by choice. What happens is, I'm sitting here, my brain's empty. Random thought flies in from nowhere. It's like, okay, we'll talk about that. Like, go through the topic. If I still have things I want to talk about it, I'm constantly thinking about it because otherwise I'll forget. So if I talk about like a different thing in the middle, I'm gonna keep switching back and forth. I think I've done that like a handful of times on streams. If I ever like bounce back and forth between two topics with no connection in between, that's what's happening. Is I'm thinking of one thing and I'm replying to another, but I'm still thinking of the first thing. That's also why I go from like normal wholesome topic to complete horny degenerate. It just happens. We usually just topic from topic, holy fuck, we usually just go jumping from one topic to another, that's better. Yeah, I do both. Either my brain keeps going with the flow, or it gets stuck on one thing. it hyper focuses on a thought, or it can't retain thoughts. In terms of like what that's like in daily life, it's the same thing, which is why I feel like I have like slight ADHD, if not ADHD, because it's the same thing for things that I do. I either hyper focus on something for hours on end, or I keep bouncing between things. It's usually the hyper focus though. And I am like a procrastinator on heart. Like, I've always been a procrastinator. I should get diagnosed. Because it's usually just working on the fact that I think something and say it mindlessly. Mindlessly without a filter? Like, is the filter working? Yours is doing SpongeBob reruns. Usually makes you point out obvious things and notice it a second later. That's fair. It's weird having a filter as someone who can't have an inner monologue, because if I think something, most things just spew out without me thinking, because there is no thought process. There is no middle stage. So if I'm filtering something, I am like actively thinking about, should I say this? Or should I not? So if I ever like randomly pause in between a sentence, that's what's happening. I am trying to filter myself because it does not exist. Like the message up there that you wrote badly, you're fine. Does it make it better if I've seen worse from other people in terms of like writing? I've seen way worse. I've seen worse from English speakers. You're doing well. I was thinking something earlier. I forgot. Too many topics passed through my head and now it's gone. Shit. Hey, if I can't remember it, it's not important, probably. Probably. Reading your old writings before you got a spell and grammar checker. Spelling is like, you will notice that something looks wrong, but here's the thing with English. It's very obvious if something is spelled wrong, because it doesn't look like the other words in the English language. But words when they're like spelled correctly also look wrong if you stare at them long enough. Because you start wondering, why is this spelled like that? That looks off. I've had that moment way too many times. When I'm on should I say this or not situations, you say it anyway, because if you don't, later you'll have the how they react if I would say it thingy. Consequences be damned. Sometimes I'm like that. Within reason. Back then, the only time you would do essay writing was completely half-tired. Okay, here's the thing with essay writing with me. This is becoming a just talk thing. Not Cindy, Siren. I'm sorry. I called you the wrong wife. I'm so sorry. You're also my wife. Forgive me, Siren. I'm so sorry, Siren. Not wrong name. I heard the music and my brain went somewhere else. I'm so sorry. That's like when you're talking to someone you're dating and you call them by the wrong name, you call them by the X. That feels like that. Oh god. I've never done that before. I've called people by the wrong name before when it comes to gacha. I haven't done it in real life. Yet. Siren, not even X in this case, call them by the letter part. Yeah, I did. Because in terms of wives in this game, it's Cindy and Siren. I mixed up the names. I'm a disgrace. When does that happen to me with a friend? Oh, here's the thing. If you do it often, their expectations lower. So you have some more leeway, right? We got a friend that we call Yanni and another one Una. Okay, here's the thing. Those names are really similar. You get a pass on that, right? Because when they both start with the same, like, sound, your brain will default to another, like, one of them when you're not thinking. Oh, so talk about essays. My brain discarded that. Okay, random note. I'm doing this again. Of going between two topics. I only wrote essays at like SAM because I'm a procrastinator, remember? So I would write like a 5-page essay in one day. Cram it in. And here's the funny thing. Best essay I wrote in my life. Like all these epiphanies of the story plot of the book we were reading at the time. Like, I see all the connections when I'm jackass tired and rushing for my life and my grade. And I start making like references and connections I didn't even see, and it just somehow lines up. Don't procrastinate. I say that with experience. Because words would be mixed, that's why typing is easier. Typing is easier unless you are bad at typing. Then you get to type O's. The 8 AM essay writing due that day was an experience. I've done it every single time. Don't recommend it. Asterisk without caffeine. I don't drink caffeine. It gives me like a heartburn if I do. And like headaches. So, like, completely sleep deprived, with no performance enhancers. Last day essay cramming. Don't recommend it. So you work better under pressure? Apparently, everything in life points to that, yes. Hard going overdrive because of the same amount of energy drinks. I don't drink energy drinks either. I don't drink soda in general. Like, would you believe me if I say I've never had Coca-Cola or Pepsi before? I've never tried them. Which is like blasphemous in this day and age. I never tried a Monster. I don't drink coffee either, so I've never tried Starbucks, honestly. Dutch Bros. None of them. Dr. Pepper. What about tea? I've drank tea before. I'm Asian. Of course I've drank tea before. I don't drink it often though. It's not my source of caffeine either. I like boba tea. I see it more as like a casual drink, like a treat. Less than fuel. It's not fuel. It's just a treat. The actual test scores were better than the essays for the exact reason. Here's the thing with me and that. I'm like an ass test taker. When I have like all the resources in front of me, I can be a straight A student. When it comes to tests, because how my brain works, everything goes out the window. I don't remember anything. Like, I can do it in my own time. When you give me a time limit, yeah, no. No. Their Starbucks too damn expensive. People be using a ton of money on Starbucks. You can't survive without tea, at least 2 cups a day. So tea is your fuel. Do you have a favorite tea? The obvious thing again. Most of the stuff was open books. They had all the information all the time. Just that there was a timer to submit. That is fair. A lot of my tests, like K through 12, were closed book. Note, a lot of the classes that I took, we had to write out essays for answer. We had to explain our answer. Now imagine doing that with a timer. Imagine doing that when you, like, half-ass remember the formula. That's why I actually preferred college, like, education and test taking over everything else, because a lot of them are open book. Unless the professor is like old school, then they prefer closed book. Black tea, I guess, or the mint one? Mint tea, that sounds good. Used to have like a collection of fruit flavored teas, but you drink them? Hey, fruit teas are good. I like the teas that are like slightly sweeter and fruity. Did the essays, but at least yours was open book. You lucky piece of shit. If it's tea like the fruit green teas was just because of the smell and it's brewing, especially mango. My opinion on mango is so split. I like how I'm just talking at this point. Siren's interrupting me occasionally, but this has become a talking stream. Siren's watching us. My opinion on mango, it has changed a lot over the years. I used to hate mango. Like, 10-foot pole, keep it away from me. I hated the taste. I hated the texture. I would eat it if I was given a mango. I think the change happened somewhere between high school and college. Might as well change the category to just chatting. Yeah, we have NIKKE in the back for music reasons. Let me switch to just chatting. It fits better. Why is NIKKE in the back for music? Also wife. What was I saying? Mango. Togo just went mango. Yeah, keep it away from me. But somewhere between high school and college, I tried dried mango, right? That shit the bomb. I love that shit. Like, I ate so much dried mango, like, as a phase, almost. For, like, a year or so. Then after that point, mango wasn't that bad. Like, sometimes mango does taste like ass. I think those are either the overly ripe ones or the not at all ripe ones, but they're not that bad, is what I realized. What does Coco think of coconut flavor stuff? Oh, coconut. So, I can tolerate it. I don't like it. I can eat coconut flavor stuff if I need to. If it's like shaved coconut on something, that's fine. If it's a straight up coconut flavor, it's like, give me something else. I don't know why. Coconut does not mix with the cocoa. Yeah, I haven't had dried mango in so long. Dried fruit is good in general. I think it's also more sugary though. Because preservatives, mainly being sugar. Understandable, to be honest. Some, like, well-liked things. Coconut, I don't like. Caramel, honestly. I don't like just block of caramel. Or caramel, whichever way you say it. Everyone says it differently. I don't like caramel. Is it good in, like, small doses? Yeah, on other things. If you give me a block of it, give it to someone else. Caramel needs to be paired with something bitter. Yeah, it's usually paired with something. One thing I do like that other people hate apparently is mint. Because I like minty things. Some people say it tastes like toothpaste. Fuck you. Fuck you guys. Like, you get a head pat, but also fuck you. Mint's good. You love mint too? Like, for some people, I understand it. The mint is too strong. Their taste buds are sensitive. I get that. But for the ones who, like, eat it and are fine and say it sucks, you're objectively wrong. Like on dark chocolate, yeah, dark chocolate and caramel pair together often. Mint tea is good. Still won't have mint ice cream though. Wait, why not mint ice cream? Vanilla is good. Like, for ice cream, I prefer vanilla. But is there a reason for no mint ice cream? I've had mint ice cream before. It's not that bad. Especially the ones with, like, chocolate chunks in them. I kind of want it. You used to eat toothpaste when you was a dumb kid, but that's besides the point. I'm not free of that allegation either. I wasn't trying to eat toothpaste. It's just whenever I brush my teeth, if I ate some by accident, it's like, oh well. It tastes good. Don't like it generally? That's fair. Everyone has their preferences. For some people too, like with food, sometimes the texture just doesn't mix well with someone. The taste could be fine, but the texture could be really off-putting. That's me with, like, certain sushi and seafood. Because if you've ever tried scallop, there are two different ways to do it. There's, like, the just scallop by itself, and there's, like, the salad, quote-unquote salad scallop, where they crush it up and mix it with mayo. The texture of that version is so goddamn bad. That's the thing with most seafood, though. When you pulverize it, liquefy it, or, like, mix it with sauce, the texture becomes a little questionable. It's so damn slimy, but it tastes decent. I've seen people puke because of the texture, though. Same thing with octopus and squid. Let's see, for certain things like seafood, best way is fried. Hey, when you fry things, most of the times it goes well. Because it gives a different taste and texture, so it can match, like, the revolting one of the original. 55 stream streak, congrats Dima, and you call me a bottom plant, fuck you too. We're just yapping at this point. About food currently. Because we finished everything in the game for now. Deep frying solves the texture problem? Most times, yes. Love you too. You get tongue.
このドレスを着て待っていれば王子様が来てくれるかも。
That just reminded me of how one of my friends deep fried asparagus. Oh god. So it was during college. We were making our own food that night and decided to deep fry a ton of shit. Asparagus was one of the things because we just had it on us. Note, I don't like asparagus. I don't know why. If I eat asparagus, I get a headache. I don't know what it is about it. It might be a mental thing. It might be like the stuff in the I don't know why. I get a headache if I eat it. But they ate that shit raw. And it's like, it tastes good. I just stare at them, it's like, you sure about that? Then they proceed to deep fry it. Can I get tongue later too? Sure. Maybe the smell? Does asparagus have a smell? Like, it releases liquids when you bite into it, right? As most things do. Do those liquids have a smell? Because that might be it. I am very sensitive to like taste and smell and get a headache easily from that. It might be that. Sometimes smell give you a headache. Same. Like my sense of smell and my hearing are very sensitive. In terms of my vision, it's mainly just being able to see in very dark places. I almost have night vision, which means I am dying when there is sun. My eyes draw in a lot of light for some reason, so I get light sensitive easily. So if I'm outside in a very bright place, I will go blind and crawl into a corner and like be grumbling in pain. But that also means I can see things in the dark pretty well. Hearing-wise, I'm not a flincher because being completely honest, I grew up in a place / family that tends to be loud. So I'm not a flincher, but my ears get overwhelmed easily, sense-wise. Then there's the whole entire smell factor. For things that usually make people go like, ew, when they smell something, I'll be doubling over, trying to block my nose with my shirt and holding back, like, vomit. Imagine like a dumpster type smell. If someone smelled that, they would just like wave their hand in front of their face and try to like walk past it, right? For me, that is a chemical bomb. And I found out during high school, we were doing like something with chemistry, and it was supposed to be a biology class. They covered everything in terms of science. And one of the things we tested was if we can taste like a certain type of chemical strip, because some people's genes, I think we were on a genetic topic, some people's genes can't taste the chemical smell, like the chemicals. Sulfur? I don't think we were eating sulfur. Some people genetically can't taste it, some people can. Apparently it's a recessive gene, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm one of the people who can, which means I can also smell it. And that does not help my case. Can you eat sulfur? No. Only I'm allowed to eat sulfur. But yeah, apparently I can taste and smell certain chemicals that a pretty big majority of people can't, so For some people, they might be fine in like a room with a certain odor. I'll be dying.
このドレスを着て待っていれば王子様が来てくれるかも。
I'm just cursed from the start. I had a bad roll in life. I did not get the nat 20. You never forget someone asking the teacher to leave the room because someone messed up the sulfur experiment. Ew. Ew. That's just reminded me of the time. So, I like biology, I like chemistry. But my god, do the rooms smell sometimes? To the point I cannot exist in them. It was middle school. We were doing the frog dissection. For the people who have ever done a dissection before, those things stink. They stink so much. Because of the preservatives and all that shit. I was dying. Because it wasn't just a room, they kept the door open for God knows why, but the windows closed. So it stank up the whole hallway too. There were lockers in that hallway. People had to suffer in that. Because my middle school was one of the ones that had like a shit ton of lockers in the halls, as they usually do, but they're right next to the classes as well. My middle school was relatively small, I would say, in terms of size. Ignoring like the basement that we had, with an extra basketball court that could be used for something else. But a lot of things were close together. And that chemistry room, goddamn, I still remember it. I still remember that hallway. The room right next door had a pet chinchilla. Random fact. I kind of felt bad for it because it was kept in a very small cage. The cage was as big as the chinchilla. It was trapped in there. It had no food. I'm pretty sure they hand-fed it when they needed to. But they stuffed that thing in there as like almost a decoration. And the cage was just filled with its own poop. Like, if you're gonna keep a pet, or a class pet, at least treat it correctly. I did get to hold it at one point though, it's very fluffy. Chinchillas be fluffy animals. Is my brain finally empty? Unless someone else brings up something and my brain finally might be quiet again. Have I been yapping for an hour? Jesus! I just noticed. Because I saw we ended the NIKKE thing at like the 2-hour mark, I think. Or around there. We're at the 3-hour mark now, we've been yapping for an hour. Y'all learned some random facts about the Coco. Let's see her. Are there any NIKKE people we can write into is the question. All those tabs are loading. I mentioned this at the start and I'll mention it again at the end. In terms of next week, I will be gone on Friday because I'll be on a plane. And I don't think I can figure out how to stream from the plane. because I am attending the Persona concert. Enjoy the trip? Yeah. Plan to be back like midday Monday. So depending on how cooked I am on that day, we might have a stream on Monday, we might not. Depends on how I'm feeling. So that's the trips from the 23rd to the 26th, technically. But if anyone else is going to the Persona concert, I'll be somewhere in the crowd. Then after that, like 2 weeks after that trip, I'm going on another trip to attend like an anime con. And then once that's over, back to regularly scheduled program. Will I be taking pictures of the trips? Yes. And I'll show you guys the ones without anyone in them because I don't feel like doxing anyone yet. Yeah, she'll be on my side. Yeah, I'll be held hostage. I am willingly walking into being a hostage. Oh, Stephen. Let's see, who is live currently that I am following? Ah, Foxel. That works. Foxel has popped in here a few times before. You can dox ghosts, it's fine. I don't know if I want to. Being completely honest, I don't even know, like, Ghost's name. Like, actual name. I can't dox them even if I wanted to. Thank you for stream, thank you for coming. Let's start the raid time. Jesus Christ, Fox has been going for 8 hours. Okay, we're raiding in, but it might not last long. Looks like they're playing a modded Minecraft. Let's do that. Okay, as always, hopefully everyone has a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. It's a new game? Okay, fair enough. Appreciate everyone that stopped by, especially the lurkers. I will be back next week with the usual schedule outside of Friday. If a collab happens, we'll figure it out then. Otherwise, assume Persona at the start of the week. And at this point, a different choice game for the second half. I don't think we're doing NIKKE again. So Thursday, we might be doing the rage games I've been mentioning. We might be doing that. Okay. So rating in 5 seconds. So until next time, bye bye.